Hi, and welcome to the live Power Yoga Challenge. And if you're not watching this live, if you're watching this later, just remember that these videos are also recorded and they'll stay on my channel. I'll have a live yoga playlist specifically for these videos. But if you're live with me right now, I'm so excited that you're here. This is so cool that we can practice together and actually same time communicate, engage, and do yoga. So what we're gonna do today is I have a pen and paper. We're going to create a routine together. This is a power yoga challenge, so I want you right now to think about power yoga poses that you like, that you want to do, areas of your body that you want to work on, power yoga poses that you are not so sure about, and maybe you want a little bit more teaching on. So once you start thinking about that, when things come up, go ahead and start throwing them in the chat, and I'll start writing down some poses and just sequence something super quick for us to do. I know that sounds a little scary, right? That is something that I love to do. It's a challenge as a teacher to be like, okay, so you want warrior poses, you want core, you want arms, more warrior. Let's do it. I can sequence that nice and quick. All right, so we got warrior, core, arms, planks, warrior 3. Oh, Lola. Lola is going to kill me today. Warrior 3. You know, and something that I hope that you also take away from this, other than the fact that it's okay to be a beginner, is that there are seasons of life. You know, there are going to be times in your yoga practice where you are really, really strong. And then there are going to be times in your practice, Zima asked for burpees. Oh, Zima. There are going to be times in your practice where you might not be feeling as strong. Or for me, you know, I had a baby and it took me a while to gain my strength again after having a baby. So some of these poses used to be really easy for me. But yeah, you'll see where my practice is at today. All right. We have hip openers, balance. Balance is good. I love balance because it really does tackle the glutes at the same time. Lots of twists. All right, so I've got a few here. If you have anything else to add that you haven't seen already in the chat, go ahead and add that. Otherwise, throw me some questions that you might have, because something that we'll try to juggle here and make it even more challenging is to go through the routine and also answer some questions when we're holding some postures, if we get there. How about that? And I'll throw something together really quick. So we want warriors, want warrior 3. Warrior 3 works with balance and glutes. Wonderful. All right, and here's the thing, you guys. Sorry, I was just reading the screen and wanted to see what you guys were gonna do. No matter what we do today, always, always modify, right? So modify and take what works best for you. And I'll modify and take what works best for me, because no way I'm gonna just injure myself or use poor form just to show you guys something that I wouldn't want you doing that anyway. So modify and even skip if you need to. Otherwise, just replace it with a whole different pose so that you can continue practicing and being here in the moment, because we're gonna do this for the next 10 to 15 minutes and do it while you're here. Make the most of it. All right, let's go. Are you guys ready to go? Say yes if you're ready to go. Exclamation points if you're extra ready to go. Let's do this. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Good, 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 good. Oh, I love it when the chat just flies like that. All right, and your 2-year-old Brittany can join in, maybe. My son's starting to do a little bit of down dog, starting to watch and learn a little bit. So let's get started. Hands off your phones, get on your mat, and we're just gonna start in a seated position. Do you remember in the ab yoga challenge we started with just some wrist rolls? Let's just do that. Just warm up the wrists, and again, make sure that you're not forcing the biggest movement and the most movement in your wrists. You want just enough movement where you're increasing the blood flow. And while we do this, go ahead and shake out your hands. Let's all take a big breath in through your nose. Big breath out through your mouth. take your hands down on the mat and fingertips pointing to the sides of your mat, and just rock a little bit side to side. Again, you're not forcing a ton into your hands, just a little bit of movement so that you can increase the blood flow, just warming up your wrists. Another big breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Flip your palms up, fingertips pointing towards your knees, and just rock slightly front and back. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then shake out your hands. Great job. All right, so let's just start with a little bit of a flowing warm-up that will also target our arms. We're gonna start in a child's pose, just to ground down for a moment. So knees as wide as comfortable, arms out long in front of you, forehead down to your mat. I hope you can still hear me down here. And while we're down here, just take 3 breaths to totally relax. Let go of everything. Your face, your jaw, your eyelids, shoulders and hips. This is your reset, so that you can be completely and totally present on your mat. And when you're ready, rise up into a tabletop, and then send your hips back into down dog and take a ton of movement in your legs. Warm up through your legs, your calves, your hamstrings. Just bending one knee and then the other feels really good here. Even wagging your hips side to side can feel really good. We'll flow in and out of down dog throughout this practice as well, so that we'll continue coming back to it. Little mini warm-ups for your legs. Make sure that you're pressing your chest towards your thighs, opening up through your shoulders, and your fingers are fanned out nice and wide. So come forward to your high plank. Shoulders are directly over your wrists. Fingers are fanned out wide, gripping into the mat. Drive back through your heels as you lengthen through the crown of your head. If this just doesn't feel right, you want to modify, you can lower your knees down to the mat, but make sure that your hips are between your knees and shoulders, even crown of the head, so that everything is in line. You're not dumping towards the mat. Lift up out of your shoulders. For chaturanga, everyone lower down to your knees so we can get the modification right first. With your knees down on the mat, firm up your lower abs. Everything is nice and strong, and just bend your elbows directly back so that they touch your ribs. Stop right here. You should feel your triceps right now. So push back up into your high plank. You should have felt your triceps. Elbows do not burn out to your sides, or burn out. Do not bend out to your sides like a push-up. No, they bend directly back. So go ahead and lower down again. Elbows bend back, graze your ribs. That's where you stop. You do not go any further. Push back up into your high plank. Now you're feeling it, right? Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. Lowering down halfway, elbows bend directly back. Stop when they touch your ribs. So you're really not going that far. You're not leading with your head, you're leading with your chest. Everyone upward facing dog. So you'll lift your knees off the mat. That's so important in up dog. Lift up through your shoulders. And if your knees are down on the mat, you might be straining your back. So this is very engaged. Go ahead and lower your knees down. Take a seat on your heels. Shake it out. So we're modifying, but if you have a traditional chaturanga in your practice, you're feeling strong today, take the traditional chaturanga. I'm not going to show it today because I don't really have traditional chaturanga in my practice very strong right now. So I'm taking modified, and I honestly encourage you to take modified too, because you can still gain so much strength and sometimes even more strength. Let's go back to our high plank. Nice and strong, driving through your heels, driving through the crown of your head. Everything pushes away from the mat. Now, lower your knees down to the mat. Modified high plank, not tabletop. Lower abs are engaged. Lower down halfway. This is modified low plank. Elbows graze your ribs. Upward facing dog, big breath in. Knees are lifting. Send it back to downward facing dog. All right. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let's repeat that. Inhale to your high plank, lower down to your knees. Exhale to your low plank. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Again, inhale to high plank, knees are down. Exhale to low plank. Upward facing dog. Send it back to downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, high plank, knees go down. Low plank. Up dog. Send it back to down dog. Wonderful. From here, reach your right leg high. That should feel pretty good on your left hamstring. Drive back through your heel, and if it feels good even more, just bend your right knee, reaching up through your right kneecap. There we go. Inhale, reach your right leg high, straighten it out. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring your knee all the way through. Hold for a second. Now inhale, reach. Exhale, step it through to a low lunge with grace. So you don't want to just like smack your foot through. You want to step it down nice and soft. And if you have to, grab your ankle with your hand to pull it up. From here, spin your back heel down. And this is a little bit different. Place your right hand inside of your right foot, or you can place your hand on your shin. Reach your left arm high and straighten out your right leg for triangle. This is something new, right? So make sure that you are not caving forward in your chest. Everything is leaning back, opening up, reaching up for the ceiling. And make sure that you're not locking out your right knee. A little bend gives you a lot of control on your right leg. From here, big breath in. Exhale to release your left hand down, bending your right knee, pivot off your back heel, and reach your right arm high. Dragonfly. This should feel pretty good the first time you're in it too. And if you really wanted to embellish, you could go in a little bit of a booty drop here, opening up into your dragonfly. Big inhale. Exhale to lower your right knee back down. Launch into standing splits. For those of you that asked for glutes, here you go. Inhale. Exhale to Shiva squat. Left knee behind your right, bending both knees as you squat down nice and low. You can keep your hands down, or if you really want glutes, hands at heart center. All right, from here, warrior three. And I'm taking a modified variation, airplane arms. Warrior three is arms reaching out front like this. Take what works for you. Keep your gaze set on one spot for balance. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Step it back, reach your arms up, crescent lunge. You should feel some nice fire in your right leg. Sink a little bit deeper into your right knee, drive back through your left heel. Inhale. Exhale to open up, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Reach your right arm high. Keep your right leg as it is. That fire you're feeling, that's good. Make sure that your right knee is tracking open though. Big breath in to extended side angle. Reach your right arm down, left arm high. You can always modify with your forearm on your thigh. Wherever you are, make sure that you're using leverage of elbow against knee to open up. Back to reverse warrior. Inhale. Then hands to the mat. Chaturanga as you exhale. High to low plank. Remember, we're modifying knees down, elbows graze. Upward facing dog. Send it back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Catch your breath. It's a little bit difficult teaching, practicing, talking, so I'm going to take a big breath here. You ready to do the left side? Reach your left leg high. Stretching through your right leg. Feel free to bend your left knee open if you did on the other side, reaching up through your left knee. And then inhale to straighten out your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Come all the way through, even round your upper back. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, gracefully step it through to a low lunge. Ideally, if you make no noise during that step, that's really good. That means you used your core. From here, set up your triangle. Left hand inside of your left foot or even on your shin. Spin your back heel down, reach your right arm high. Take a couple of breaths just to settle into this pose. Again, not locking out your left knee. Tiny bend gives you a lot of control. You do not want to be caving forward. You can always lift up. As you're seeing, I'm modifying with my hand on my shin because my inner thighs are just notoriously tight. So this is the kind of posture where I will rather lift up, modify, so I can really get into the pose with good form. Big inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down, bending your left knee, spin off your back heel and reach your left arm high, dragonfly. Even embellish and open up a little bit if you do on the other side. Big breath in. As you breathe out, come back to your low lunge, launch into your standing splits. Heavy through the crown of your head, reaching up through your right toes. Big breath in. As you breathe out, Shiva squat, bending both knees, get your hips nice and low. And then rise up into your warrior three or airplane if you're modifying. Drive back through your heel. Reach forward through the crown of your head. Shoulders are rolling open. Gait is set on one spot. It's like you have blinders on. Big inhale. Exhale, step it back. Crescent lunge. Reach your arms up. Sinking into your hips. Drive back through your right heel. Inhale. Exhale to open up warrior two. Very nice, nice and strong. So you really want to make sure that you're nice and low in your left leg, left knee tracking open, shoulders soft, but your arms are strong. Keep your legs as they are. Reverse warrior, reaching your left arm high. Not a lot of weight in your right hand, just enough to support you slightly as you lengthen up through your left side. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Left arm down, right arm high. You can modify if you do on the other side. Otherwise, use leverage to open up. See, this is a posture that does use your core. So try to use your core here to carry the weight of your upper body. Legs stay the same. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, chaturanga, high to low plank, knees down, elbows graze, lead with your heart. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. We're going to flow that one breath, one movement, slow and fluid. Follow the pace of your breath. Modify where you see fit. Even skip or just switch it up. That means you might be a half second ahead or behind me, and that's okay. Exhale everything from your lungs. Then inhale to reach your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, low lunge. Step it through nice and soft. Triangle pose. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Exhale, lower your left arm down for dragonfly. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Exhale, lower your right hand down and launch into standing splits. Big breath in. Then exhale, Shiva squat, nice and low. Inhale to warrior three. Exhale, step it back, crescent lunge. Big inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. To extended side angle, exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Lead with your heart. Upward facing dog, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, triangle pose, right arm high. Then exhale to transition into your dragonfly. As you inhale, reach your left arm high. Exhale to lower your left hand down. Launch into your standing splits. One big breath in. Shiva squat. Inhale to airplane or warrior 3. Then step it back. Crescent lunge, breath in. Warrior 2, breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the mat, chaturanga. Elbows graze, lead with your heart. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your feet all the way through, take a seat, set up boat. Boat pose. Lean back and lift up through your heart. So if you need to, you can grab onto the backs of your thighs and really help with that lift through your heart. You do not want to cave into your lower back. So from here, lifting up through your heart, you can keep your feet down, your toes down. You can have your feet hover, shins parallel, even straight if you want. Do not enter this pose at your 90% though. Give yourself some grace, enter at maybe 60%, and then feel it out as you hold. And you might need to change or modify, or you might be feeling really strong. You want to go even deeper, but take what works for you. So from your boat, we're going to set up something called crow hold. We've got about 3 postures left. This crow hold is one, and then guess what? Crow pose. We're going to give that one a try today. So for crow hold, from your boat, pull your knees into your armpits or place your knees on your triceps as close to your armpits as you can. And then flex your hands back like you're doing crow on the ceiling. See? Ooh. You're going to feel a lot in your lower back or no. You should not be feeling anything in your lower back. You should be feeling it all in your lower abs, I mean. At this point, your back is going to round. That's okay. It's supposed to in this pose. If you're feeling your hip flexors, that's normal too. Give yourself a little bit of a break before coming back in. Now, really compact yourself. Pull your knees in a little bit tighter. Look up towards the ceiling as if you were doing crow on the ceiling. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Long body stretch. That was good. Everyone inhale through your nose. Open mouth, let it go. Pull your knees in and rock and roll the length of your spine, front and back. If you're on like hardwood floors, you might just want to roll onto your side and then make your way onto your hands and knees. But if you want to do rock and roll shoot, you'll cross your ankles, roll over your ankles, and then shoot your feet back. You can land in a high plank, but best if you can land in your low plank. So coming down to your hands and knees when you do your rock and roll shoot. That's a fun one to play with, and I have a video specific about rock and roll shoot if you want to learn how to do it another time. Right now, let's set up our crow, and then we're almost done. So for crow, even if you've never done this before, you can still practice crow without going into the full expression. So let's do that. Fingers are fanned out wide, planted on your mat, shoulder distance apart. And if you want to know how far that is, grab onto your bicep. Your forearm is about shoulder distance apart. Then your hand goes straight down. Come up to your toes and walk your feet in nice and close. And this might take some flexibility. That's okay. You can be on your tippy toes. You can bend your knees. From here, you need to bend your elbows back, not out to your side. So just like chaturanga arms, elbows bend back. Most important is that your gaze is set out in front of you. You're not looking down because then you'll cartwheel. You will look out in front of you. Keep your gaze set the whole time for balance. Grip into your mat. Walk your feet in closer. Then come up onto your tippy toes, bend your elbows back, get your knees as high up into your armpits as you can so that you have more contact than just kneecap on tricep. Shin on triceps even better. Gaze is out in front of you and just lean your body weight forward so you feel some weight in your hands. You don't even have to lift up your feet. Now, this is not a balancing posture. This is a core strengthening posture. So remember that crow hold, lower abs? I want you to use those here. You're going to use your abs to lift through your hips. When you use your abs, you'll feel a lightness in your legs. Even if it's just for like a second, you're like, yeah, okay. Do not launch into the full expression though. You want to get in there gracefully and slowly and trust the process that over time you might be able to lift your right toes up. Again, this is all core that's carrying you, not balance. Put your right foot down, lift your left toes up. Core, 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 core. Lower your left foot down. If you're feeling really strong today, you might want to lift both feet up, maybe to hover. Use your core. I'm definitely using my core. You can bring your big toes together behind you, and this is crow. I'll give you a few more breaths to play wherever you are. And again, even if your feet are down on the mat and you're just leaning forward and you're using your abs and you're feeling that, that's your crow today. And that crow is going to get you to crow eventually. Or that crow can just be how it is and you'll still gain a lot of upper body strength, a lot of core strength. So when you're done playing around, shake out your hands. Oh. Like you're trying to flick water off your fingertips, or maybe sweat, if you're like me. And then let's just take a seat on our mat. A little bit of a cool down. And if you want to chat, if you have questions for me, let's do the cool down up here so I can see your questions and answer your questions. Let's start with just a little twist to the right. Turning to the right with your right hand behind you. Left hand to your right knee, turn through your shoulders, turn through your gaze. Even turn through your eyes so that your eyelids and your eyeballs are getting a little bit of a stretch. Hands-free power yoga video. Hannah is asking for a hands-free power yoga video. I've been getting a lot of requests for more hands-free yoga. All right, you guys, let's turn around, twisting other direction. And I'm definitely listening to you guys. Your feedback, your requests are a lot of what give me my inspiration to make more videos. Remember when you're twisting, you twist all the way through your chin, your gaze, and then just breathe into it. So this twist is not something that you'll force. It's just something you'll breathe into. All right, let's come back to center. We'll take our hands out by our sides. Remember this one from the morning, live morning yoga? You'll lower your left ear to your left shoulder. Look at it, it's not touching. It doesn't need to touch. You're just letting your head rest on one side so that you can feel a lengthening on this side. Don't chase sensation, just appreciate whatever comes up and try to drop your right arm. Abigail's asking for yoga for runners. And Abigail, I want you to know, I already filmed it. It's in the production phase, ready to come out for the spring. So I've got a lot of stuff right now ready to go, which means that some things have to wait. And yoga for runners is filmed, it's ready to go. It's fun. Let's lower your right ear down to your right shoulder. Well, you might have to wait a little bit. So while you're waiting, try the post-workout yoga routines and the deep hip opening yoga routines. Those ones are great for runners. And there you go. Let's clean that up. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and then down your back, up to your ears and then down your back. All right, how are you guys feeling? That was a fun routine. I mean, I'm sweating. I'm wondering if you're sweating. Oh, Sandra said my app is great. Thank you so much, Sandra. I am so happy with just like all the feedback you guys are giving me on this app. If you don't know already, you probably know because I've been talking about it a lot. I just launched my very own app and a membership site where you can access all of my videos to stream or download, and even you'll download them in the app. But I'm adding a new full-length class every month going forward and a daily yoga calendar every month going forward. The apps are 45 to 60 minutes, the classes are 45 to 60 minutes, and there's already 10 classes in there, and the prenatal program is in there. So, thank you. Spliffy wants yoga for laziness. I've thought about doing that because I've had lazy days. I'm like, maybe some like couch yoga or like TV yoga. So I love that idea. It's a great idea. Yoga for anxiety. I've got yin yoga for stress and anxiety right now. I tapped that pretty well, but I will definitely come back to it. All right, you guys, I have a question for you. I want you to, if you haven't already, practice my live ab yoga challenge and my live morning yoga challenge and this one. So you'll do all three, because what I did is the last 3 Saturdays, including this Saturday, I started these live yoga challenges for the purpose of me getting out of my comfort zone, because this is a little bit scary for me. Also for me to learn how to do live properly. And as you can tell as you can tell, even today I was still struggling with like the technology side of it. But what I want you to do is do all three, and if you have already done all three, please in the comments, not in the live chat, because I can't see this after we're done with live, but in the comments, if you can tell me which one of those formats you liked the most, because it was kind of 3 different formats. The first one was an ab yoga challenge that I pre-sequenced and we went through together, a little bit of Q&A at the beginning, Q&A at the end. The second one was a live morning yoga challenge, which is really like a morning yoga flow, and it was a little bit more just like relaxed. We're just going through a yoga routine together. It wasn't like a challenge really, you know? And then the third one, today's, was something that we built together. So I asked you, what do you want to do? And then we did it on the mat. So if you can, even right now in the chat, you can answer that too, but if you can answer for sure in the comments down below and let me know. Which one of those did you like? Because I want to continue doing live. Right now I have a plan of doing live at the end of each month, the last Saturday of each month at 9 a.m. So same time. This is mountain time for me. And I want it to be something that's fun, that we can do together, something that works. So let me know, and yeah, I'm good. This is where I would end the recorded version. So I'd say thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Join me for the next live yoga challenge, and last Saturday of each month at 9 a.m. At least that's what we're thinking. Bye.